This call is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. I'm Gary Steele out of Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is going to be you were programmed for failure. You don't even know it. We were all programmed for failure. We'll say we don't even know it. The last few weeks we've been talking about the power of mind, the power. Someone else is joining the call. Welcome to the call. We've been talking about the power of mind, and the majority of people have no clue how powerful their thoughts are in developing their life. The biggest things that we've been talking about is what you think, feel, and believe about yourself is what you manifest in your life. What you think, feel, and believe about yourself is what you manifest in your life. We've talked about the law of attraction, that it's always on. You're always attracting to yourself the people, places, things, circumstances, and events to manifest your life. It never takes a break. It never stops. It's always on. We've talked about your innermost dominant thought becomes your outermost tangible reality. Another way to look at that is your innermost belief about yourself becomes your outermost tangible reality. Your innermost thought about yourself becomes your outermost tangible reality. Your innermost feeling, which is the most important thing, truly, your innermost feeling that you have about yourself becomes your outermost tangible reality. All of that adding up to your self-worth, your self-confidence, and your certainty, the three things that essentially are responsible for the outcomes of our lives. Our self-worth, our self-confidence, and our certainty. We resonate at a frequency. We've been talking about this. We, right now, resonate at a frequency of energy. You could start with every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organelle within the cells, every organ, every system, every energetic process that's going on inside our body right now. You can add all this up, and it adds up to a specific resonant frequency. And what I mean by these frequencies is the same as an FM dial, a radio dial. You can tune into any radio station. Most commonly nowadays on a radio dial, you'll tune to a station like 99.1 megahertz on the FM dial. FM stands for frequency modulation. So these frequencies, these energy waves, make up all of existence. Quantum physics knows beyond any shadow of a doubt that everything in existence, everything around you right now is light vibrating at a different frequency. They call it frozen light. Light vibrating at a different frequency. So we have a frequency, and this frequency is our true identity. It's our truthful identity about who we are in the world relative to the rest of everyone else in the world. This frequency of energy resonates inside us. It resonates out into the magnificence of the universe. The universe responds back with the person, the people, places, things, situations, and events to help us manifest our life, to help us co-create. We've talked a lot about that the Creator has given us an unlimited infinity inside us. It tunes into us. The second we're born, this unlimited infinity tunes into us, resonates inside us, and we have unbridled access to it. There's no limit to the access that we have to it other than the limitations that we put on it in our own mind, again, on what we think, feel, and believe about ourselves. This is the manifestation formula of life. We are as powerful, as I've said before. We've talked about this the last few weeks. Every single person on this call, every single person on the planet is as powerful as any other person on the planet. Anyone, from the homeless bum living on the street corner trying to find a place to stay warm, to the most lavish lifestyle possible of the billionaires, the mega ultra wealthy gazillionaires, and everyone in between. Every single person is using the exact same power of the Creator to co-create our life. Again, based on our resonant frequency of worthiness. As it goes out, so does it come back. There's no on and off switch for this. I've talked about this. There's no on and off switch. It's always on. You're always, even when you're sleeping, this frequency is resonating out into the universe and still helping you manifest your life. Hello, welcome to the call. It's always on. And the reason I'm going back over this as a little recap today, relative to the calls that we've had the last few weeks, is the importance of this is monumental. The understanding of this is monumental for a couple different reasons. The most important reason is this: to realize you already have the unlimited power to create whatever you would love to create. That is so huge of an idea. It's massive. Massive idea to get a grips on and to begin to see and understand that we all, everyone on this line, everyone in the world, already has the power to create whatever they would love to create. As we said before, but what happens is we look externally to other people's lives, particularly along the lines of money, wealth, and success. It seems to be like, money's kind of a scorecard. Everybody pays attention to it. Money, wealth, and success. So we'll look at somebody else's life. They seem to have a bigger boat, bigger house, bigger car, live a much more seemingly lavish, amazing lifestyle. And then we'll beat ourselves up, put ourselves down in the pit relative to them. We're putting them up on the pedestal. We put ourselves in the pit, and we're like almost praising them for how magnificent of a life that they've created. And the reality, the actuality of it is, you've created just as magnificent of life using your own power already here now. The exact same power of the Creator, the infinite oneness, the universe, the grand organized design of God. We've all already used it. So to begin to wrap our mind around how freaking powerful we are and to begin to get that idea is amazing. The more you own that idea that you are as powerful as any other person on the planet, the more powerful you become in manifesting what you would love, because you're starting to consciously steer the ship instead of unconsciously steer the ship. Most people are living their life on autopilot. And then, as I've said the last few weeks, beating themselves up, putting themselves down for what they created because they believe they're less than the other creations around them, and the truth is they're equal to it. Another amazing thing to get to. I'm equal to. I'm not less than, I'm equal to. So, when I talk about create a life that you love living, I'm not talking about the infatuated, the great, grand, and glorious version. Oh my God, the one that's, just so amazing. No. The one that's in your heart of hearts, okay? So, the one that's in your heart of hearts, the one that you're willing to enjoy the pain and the pleasure of, the support and the challenge of, the peace and the war of, the happy and the sad of, that one. Well, that one you're already doing. You're already creating your life according to the pain and the pleasure that you love, according to the support and the challenge that you love, according to the happy and the sad that you love, according to God, the grand organized design is picking you up with one hand and pushing you down with the other hand. The one that the co-creative power of life that God has given every single one of us, that spark of love, is helping us create and destroy our life equally every single day, every moment of every day of our life. We're creating and we're destroying equal 50-50 creation and destruction, so that the median line, the flat line, the straight line between those two, which is our true resonant frequency that goes out into the universe, that's what we manifest. If we start to manifest something too high above that, we go to work and destroy it so that it comes down. Create and destroy. That's the power. It's never going to change for the rest of our lives. We've already been doing it. We're going to be doing it tomorrow. We did it today. We're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to do it the next few days. We're going to do it this week, next month, next year, next decade. For the rest of our life, we're going to create and destroy our life equal to the resonant frequency that we feel worthy of. Our pain, our pleasure, our support, our challenge, our peace, our war. All based on what we believe we're worthy of, this resonant frequency idea that goes out in the universe. I know we've had, at least 10 that I can think of used to be millionaires. At least 10, probably more, used to be millionaires at the seminars. They no longer are. They had massive runs where they made massive amounts of money, and they did whatever they could do to destroy it, crash it out, to bring themselves back down to where they feel they are allowed to be. We all are creating and destroying our life right here, right now, to live where we believe we're allowed to be, that we have permission to be. So I recapped this whole energy, this frequency thing, so that we could roll into the idea of tonight, and that is, we all judge success and failure by looking at other people, and it's the only way to feel like a success, it's the only way to feel like a failure, is to look externally to ourselves. Internally, according to our own hierarchy of values, through our 7 areas of life: physical, mental, spiritual, financial, family, career, and social, internally honor our own values. Our highest value is the captain of the ship. It's steering the ship. When we're able to discover and honor our own values and understand that we're already using the magnificent power of the universe, the magnificent power of God, the magnificent power of the Creator to co-create our life, we're doing it according to what's most important to us, to what's least important to us. So is everybody else. So, back to this idea of frequency. We judge ourselves as relative externals, everyone around us. Success, failure. It's impossible to feel like a success or failure unless we judge ourselves against somebody else, some other person's results according to their values in their life. Our values are as valuable. The day I was driving down the highway, and this strange vision I had, it just was like a roll of carpet that just like out in front of me all the way to as far as I could see. Of course, it was in the screen of my mind. It was a weird vision, but in that second, I understood it. Like something clicked, and I got it. And I was like, oh, boom. And that was the moment when I realized, oh my God, I just unraveled. And that's probably why that's what that represented. I just unraveled the mystery for every single person on the planet, how to be rich, how to be wealthy. I got it in a split second, and I got it. I was like, oh my God, we're already using the power. It's already here. Every single person. It's already equal. Everybody's already using it. That's amazing. Oh my God, that's so freaking powerful. If everybody could understand, you're already powerful. You're already amazingly powerful. You have the unlimited power already inside you. That is amazing if you think about it. Because like inside myself, I was like, who am I? I'm just this little kid from Rootstown, Ohio, this tiny little farm town out in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. But I have the same power of every single other person on the planet. Holy cow, that's pretty freaking amazing if you think about that. No matter where you come from, no matter what your roots are, you have the same power as every other person on the planet. We can only judge ourselves a success or a failure by comparing ourselves to an external, okay? Internally, you're infinitely successful. You already are. You've been infinitely successful your entire life. You continue to be infinitely successful because you've used the power of infinity to create your life right now. So then, why do we judge ourselves a success or a failure? Because we've been programmed to be a failure and we don't even know it. The actuality is we're absolutely successful. That's all we can ever be. If there was such a thing as success, there isn't. There's only results. Results lived based on thoughts that we've had in the past, actions we've taken in the past, emotions that we've had in the past, perceptions that we've had in the past. These all yield our results of the past. So we've been programmed to be failures and we don't even know it. How'd this happen? It happened when we were growing up. Talked about this many times as well. Our imprint. Our imprint happens to us sometime between 7 and 10 years old. From the time we're born till the time we're 7, 10 years old. We're consistently and constantly being told who we can be, who we can't be. What we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to be. How much money we're allowed to make, how much money we're not allowed to make. Who we're supposed to marry, who we're not supposed to marry. What kind of career we're allowed to have and what kind of career we're not allowed to have. And on and on and on every single aspect of our life, we've been programmed to live the life that we live right now. Why? Because inside us we have an internal sense of self-worth, an internal sense of certainty, an internal frequency of love that resonates out into the universe. Yes? Correct. Okay. Why is it where it's at? It's where it's at because it's what our preachers, teachers, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, coaches told us we're allowed to be. And we believed it. We were born unlimited. The spark came in us unlimited when we were born. No limit to it. Unlimited. Our environment created limitations, created a jail of mediocrity for many, a jail of poverty for some, but it's just a mind, it's a mind jail. And I know I've talked about this before as well, and that is, why is it so powerful then? Why does this have such an amazing, unbelievable, strong grip on our life? Well, it's in our DNA. It's in us. And it resonates on our animal brain, the lowest level, the reptilian brain of of our mind. It's the lowest brain, it's the brainstem, it's the lowest frequency energy of our mind. The animal brain goes all the way back, believe it or not, it goes all the way back to when we lived in small groups, either in the cave, in clans, when you truly on a daily basis relied on your clan. That still exists today, but not nearly as much. But when you relied on your clan, your group, your family, to be able to survive one more day. If you were kicked out, shunned, pushed out, thrown out, told to hit the road, it more than likely meant you were going to die. The environment was going to get you. Other clans were going to get you. Animals were going to get you. To live alone back then, it was a no-go. It wasn't happening. So that memory has been stored in our DNA and has been passed down all these so many generations later, so that when we're programmed by our clan, our environment, our circumstances in those early years, the informative years, from birth to about 7, 10 years old, where we're being molded and manipulated by external forces on what the rest of our life is going to be like, It's ingrained in us so deeply that we're going to die if we don't listen, that we listen. And most people listen for the rest of their lives. So few people break out of, lifestyle-wise, financially-wise, and pretty much every other area of life that you think about. That's what they were taught growing up. This is what we do. There's a great story about this. And it's probably, and who knows if it has an original origin or not, I don't know, but it's a story I heard about it. And it's like this. On Sunday, Easter Sunday, I think Easter is most commonly the ham holiday, where you'll have a ham, at least in my upbringing. You'll have a ham. It's like, so there was this daughter there, her mother, and then the grandmother. The grandmother always cuts the end of the ham off before she bakes it. This is going on year after year after year. Finally, the daughter asked the mother, or the mother was doing it, and the mother's like, Mom, why you cut the end of the ham off before you bake it every year? She's like, I don't know. It's what Grandma did. So the daughter goes and asks Grandma, Grandma, why did you always cut the end of the ham off every year before you baked it? So I didn't have a pan big enough for a whole ham, so I cut the end off. But yet the mother cuts the end off, and then the daughter was doing it too, and was like, why are we doing this? Oh, it's because we were, that's what we were programmed to do. So that's an analogy, a parable, to describe the same thing. Look around your life. You're living a lifestyle financially. Truly, it's in all 7 areas of life: physical, mental, spiritual, financial, family, career, and social. You're living a lifestyle that's within plus or minus 5% of how you were raised. Who you're allowed to be, who you're not allowed to be. The job you're allowed to have, the job you're not allowed to have. The amount of money you're allowed to make, the amount of money you're not allowed to make. On and on and on. Plus or minus 5% relative to what you were raised. That's the lifestyle you're living. Why? Because you want to live. You don't want to die. If I break out of my clans, my families, programming, my DNA deep down inside is telling me that most certainly means death. I can't do different. Really doesn't have to be more. Because if you do less than, they'll make comments to you to try to pick you up relative to what's acceptable in any of those areas of life. Whether you're doing too low or too much, they'll do whatever it takes to get you back in the middle of where we're allowed to be. There's been a tremendous amount of research done on this. India is one of the areas where a ton of the research has been done, because the class, the CLASS, the class system there is very strict, very, very, very. So they've done a lot of studies there. It's virtually impossible for a person to break out of that programming. The psychology is so deep, so powerful, so ingrained in us, it's virtually impossible to break out of that programming. So I know many people. I've been one of those in my entire life as well. I've always dreamed for, thrived for, hungered for more, greater than. And I can remember different instances throughout my life whenever I'd say something about something that was more than or whatever, and my dad would just put it down. He'd belittle it down. Or make some off-the-cuff snide remark. As I've shared many times before, I was raised middle class, and in my little town, we were about dead center. We lived in a middle-class town, and in that town, we were about straight in the middle. And that's where we lived. And I can absolutely assure you, I was programmed to live that life. Even though I've consistently and constantly hungered for more, one of the beauties of that programming was it sent me on the journey to go discover life. What's it really about? How's it really work? Sent me on this gee whiz, golly, starting to add up the years, from about 23 I'd say, to 55. So about 32 years. If I had to say, 23 was when I really started, even though it was strange. My mom gave me the first book of Beyond Normal Thought when I was 20, when I turned 20. Wayne Dyer, You'll See It When You Believe It. Still haven't read that book, didn't need to. The title said everything. So to break out of that programming, then how do we do it? What's the plan? There must be something to this because there are people that do it. And the majority of them that do it, they just they do it, but they don't have help. They don't have like a system, a plan, an idea, a roadmap to follow. How do we do it? The short answer is to love. And it's really the short, the long, the in between. It's the everything answer. To love more of ourselves that we have yet to love. Long term, I know there's no other answer. I've been studying this game of life, this game of success long enough. My own examples in my own personal life and tons of examples around me personally, and then observing out into the world, movie stars, professional athletes, on down the line, any lottery winners, where they make all this kinds of tons of money and then the overwhelming majority of them destroy it back down to where they feel worthy of, where they were programmed that they're allowed to be. So long term, in my observation, and I'm absolutely confident about this, I have no, empirical scientific proof other than my own observations. So that's good enough for me. And my own observations in 30 years now of seeing, there's only one way to make a permanent long-term change in that internal law of attraction resonant frequency. There's only one way to do that. And that's to love more of yourself. That's to love the parts of yourself that you currently hate or infatuate with. Love the parts of yourself that you currently hate. Think about it. We were born a whole, W-H-O-L-E. We were born a whole being. We were born as a whole being. There was no faults in us. There was nothing missing in us. It was a blank computer. All the talk is about quantum computing that's coming up. That's, they've already got these amazingly, unbelievably fast quantum computers. They're still infinitesimally inept compared to the human mind, the human brain, the human system. The brain's a transmitter and receiver, and the information stored infinitely in the electromagnetic field that's around us at all times. These quantum computers are not even close. So we were born with the most amazing, fastest computing machine ever created, the human mind, human brain complex, and it was an empty slate. There was no limit to it. None. Other than what we were programmed, then chose to believe as we moved through life, and we believed it. So we are resonating at a frequency that our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, preachers, teachers, coaches, neighbors, classmates told us we're allowed to be at. That's the life we're living. We're living the life we were told, we were given permission to, that we're allowed to. That's the life we're living. We're not living a life we chose. Even though we've made the decision on every single decision that we've made to get us here. But we're here because we were programmed for programmed for failure, and we didn't even know it. We didn't even know this programming was going on in our mind. We didn't even know that we were yielding to the yappity yaps, the yippy yips, the external voices the negative Nancy's, the what if negatives, the oh, you can't do that, you're not allowed to do that. It's estimated that we hear the word no somewhere like 20, 30,000 times by the time we turn 18. I wonder how many times we hear the word yes. I don't know that. I'm going to Google that and find that out. How many times we hear the word yes in that same time? I'm going to guess it's substantially less. Why? Because the pissed off, disgruntled people who know, we're not putting them down. They didn't do it on purpose. They did it out of love. They did it loving us, raising us to create us in their own image. Unfortunately, to feel better about themselves most of the time. So we're living according to what everybody else has told us that we're allowed to be. So as we get older now, isn't it kind of like, okay, you know what? I think I can start giving myself permission to be whatever I freaking want to be. I don't think I have to ask permission to these people anymore, which we're doing every single day. Unconscious, subconscious, we're asking permission to our past to create our future. How can we create a future that's different than what we're living right now, a future that's different from our past, if we continue to ask our past permission to create our future? Think about that. The overwhelming majority of the people on the planet are going to wake up tomorrow and ask their past permission to create their future. They're going to ask their subconscious, unconsciously, they're going to ask their mom and dad, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles, their brothers and sisters, their preachers, their teachers, their coaches, their classmates and their teammates, hey guys, hey listen, I know I've been listening to you guys for a long, long time, many decades for some people at this point. I know I've been listening to you for a long time, but hey, I want to have a team meeting today, okay? I'm waking up. Let's have a team meeting. Hey, y'all, you think it's all right if I go become a gazillionaire and you guys aren't? You think that'll be okay? Unconscious, subconscious is screaming back at you. Heck no, it's not okay. We're going to kick you out of the tribe, dude. We're going to kick you out of the clan. We're going to push you out of the cave. We're going to let the lions and tigers and bears eat you up. So you might just better stay where you're at so that you can continue to stay with us. And hey, you know what? If you stay with us, you're going to make us feel better about ourselves in the meantime. So no, you're not. Okay, past. I guess I'll just settle for what I've been settling for. Make you guys happy. And I get to stay in the clan and I don't get to die today because I get to survive one more day. Which is what the absolute root of this human body, this human, I was going to say human being, that's not it. Without the mind, it's not a human being. This human body, this animal physical form that came off this planet, the spiritual part of us tunes in when we're born, this animal body, its sole purpose, it only has one purpose. The human body has one purpose and one purpose only. To survive one more, you can break it down time. I was going to say second. I was like, well, it's really millisecond, and then it's smaller than that. It's like to survive one more moment, then to survive one more moment, then to survive one more moment. Avoid pain, gain pleasure so that I can survive for one more heartbeat, one more eye blink, one more nerve impulse, which then adds up to survive for one more day, one more week, one more month, one more year, and so on. The sole purpose of this body is to survive one more day so that we, the spiritual part of us, can learn to love more of ourselves that we have yet to love. The body does its job magnificently. We could do an entire class on the human body, its role in survival, and that diseases are nothing more than a manifestation of the body to be able to survive one more day. That's all they are. Because our mind hasn't caught up yet in love, the parts of ourselves, the charges, and they build up enough to where the body can't handle it enough. And so it's really, we're going to kick you in the pants as hard as we can until you turn around and love the parts of yourself that you haven't loved. That's the cycle of it. But the human body is designed to just live one more day. That's it. Go on autopilot and do one more day. So then the mind, the spirit part of us, the unlimited infinity of us, we wake up every day and we ask our past permission to create our future. Like, okay, so how do we make a permanent change in this? That's what I'm dedicated to. I didn't understand it when the light switch first went on for me in 1987, that I was to become a healer, truly, and travel the world and do my thing. When the light went on, and then when gasoline got poured on that fire in 1999, and I discovered the work that I'm doing now. I've been doing it ever since 1999. And all that, the journey is this. There's only one thing, man. There's only one way to permanently change, and that's what we're dedicated to with what we're doing here. It's what I'm dedicated to with what we're doing here. And that is to get people to seminars so that we can help them open their heart, heal their wounds, love more of themselves than they have yet to love, more of themselves, more of life, more of God, more of the universe, so that they can get on consciously creating a life that they love living, so that they can wake up every single day and have a moment of absolute gratitude with tears rolling down their cheeks. And the only words that they can say is, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Having a true communion with God, the grand organized design, the creator, because the currency of God, the infinite oneness of life, is gratitude. And the more gratitude you can stuff into your heart, which is your internal, eternal bank account of love, your internal, eternal bank account of life, your internal, eternal bank account of creation, co-creating your life, the currency is gratitude. The more gratitude you can stuff into your heart, the more life God is going to stuff into your life. So the only way to transform a life is to love it. The only way to transform yourself is to love you. The only way to transform yourself is to love you for who you are, as you are, right here, right now, in this moment, breathing this breath. I'm perfect the way I am. I've not made one single mistake. Mistakes are bullcrap. The only way to believe you made a mistake is to ask the past permission to create your future. It's the only way you can make a mistake. Why? Because the only way you can consider anything a mistake is to compare it to something that isn't you. Because your internal, eternal magnificence is always present. So the answer, we've been programmed for failure and we didn't even know it. That's absolutely true. The answer is love. I don't care how much money you've made in the past. I don't care how much money you're going to make in the future. I don't care how much money you're making right now. I don't care what kind of life you think you want to create in the future. I don't care what kind of life you're living right now. The only thing that exists is love. The currency of life is love. The currency of God is gratitude. The currency of transformation, being able to mold our life into whatever we would love from here on out, is love. To love more. You want more? Love more. That's the equation. Want more? Love more. As I said before on these calls and at seminars and meetings and so on, and I'm not talking about the great, grand, and glorious, infatuated love, because that's not love. That's just like. I really, 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 really like it. No, the love. When you see the positive and the negative perfectly balanced in that center space of love, that love. When you can visualize the life that you would absolutely love to live, and you can see it equally pain and equally pleasure, you will emotionally detach from it and you will manifest it tomorrow. As long as we have an emotional attachment to whatever it is we want to create, it's not showing up. Why? Because we haven't earned the right to that life yet, because we still have an emotional attachment or resentment to it. The moment we can visualize the life that we absolutely love and see it positively and negatively, perfectly balanced, centered, 50-50, our emotions detach from it, it now resonates in our heart as a love, and it will manifest itself tomorrow. And then we have a tear of gratitude. Oh my God, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. And again and again and again. There's no limit to this system that we've been given. We're already using it. We have right now, we're living a life equal to the amount of gratitude that we've stuffed into our heart for the life that we're living right now. That's the life we're living. So the only way to move forward in life in any regard, physical, mental, spiritual, financial, family, career, and social, family, relationships, and money, the big three that most people want to come work on, the only way to move forward is to love the life you're living now for what it is as it is. Visualize, see the life that you would love to live in the future and love it for what it is as it is. Here now, even though it's in the future, but do it here now. See it here now. Detachment, being unattached to the results, just knowing that there's only love there, loving it for what it is as it is, and it'll manifest itself tomorrow. So as I said, in my 30 plus years of studying this game called life, the majority of my study has been on mindset, success building, wealth. Over the course of all that time, that was the majority of my studies were in those areas. There's only one way to permanently change your life, and that is to love more. Love yourself, love the life you're living now, love the life you want to live. Just to love more. You resonate at a different frequency. You're resonating at a higher frequency of love. That frequency of love goes out into the universe. The universe rewards you back with a frequency of love equal to where you believe you're worthy of having it. So we've been programmed for failure and we didn't even know it. So maybe tomorrow we start working on not asking our past if it's okay to build our future. Maybe tomorrow we start asking ourselves, our internal, eternal, the magnificence within us, and we start asking our future if it's okay if we can build our future. We don't need to ask the past permission to love our future. We don't need to ask the past permission to live our future. All we need to do is ask ourselves permission to live the life that we would love to live. All we have to do is ask ourselves permission. I give myself permission to live my future. I give myself permission to live my future. I give myself permission to live my future. All right, guys. Thank you. You have a great night. Talk to you soon.